Hare Krishna, welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Creation, Chapter 8, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit Saved. Text 15. Text 15. Yadyapyastram brahmashiraha tvamogam cha pratikriyam Vaishnavam teja asadya samshayad samashayad bhrugadvaha. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Suta Goswami continued, O Shaunaka, although the supreme Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwathama was irresistible and without check or counteraction, it was neutralized and foiled when confronted by the strength of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Brahma Jyoti or the glowing transcendental effulgence is resting on Lord Sri Krishna. In other words, the glowing effulgence known as Brahma Tejas is nothing but the rays of the Lord, just as the sun rays are rays of the sun disk. So this Brahma weapon also, although materially irresistible, could not surpass the supreme strength of the Lord. The weapon called Brahmastra, released by Ashwathama, was neutralized and foiled by Lord Sri Krishna by his own energy. That is to say, he did not wait for any other's help because he is absolute. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So we have been seeing from the past few verses in this chapter, Ashwathama releases Brahmastra with the purpose of killing Parikshit Maharaj, who was within the womb of Mother Uttara. Ashwathama's idea was he wanted to kill the last descendant of Maharaj Pandu, and this shows how much he was envious towards the Pandavas. Actually, the Pandavas were all pure devotees of the Lord. Pure devotees of the Lord are never envious towards any living entities. In fact, in the very beginning of Bhagavatam, it is also mentioned that this Bhagavatam is meant for those who are non-envious of the living entities. Paramo nirmatsaranam satam. Anybody who is envious of other living entities is also actually envious of the Supreme Lord. So, unless we give up this envy towards the Supreme Lord and towards the other living entities, it is not possible for us to become fixed up in devotional service. What is this envy? Envy means when we compare ourselves with others and when we see that the others are situated in a better position compared to us, we become insecure. We feel, oh, the other person is enjoying better facilities. He has better opportunities than me. So let me try to create some problem to them. Let me try to create some obstacles for them. This is called envy, matsarya. So why do we become envious of others? Because of our tendency to lord over the material world. We become envious of others. So when we become envious of others, it means that we are not happy with the way Lord Krishna has blessed others. That means we have a problem with the Lord Himself, isn't it? So, Lord, for some reason, has given better abilities, better talents, better circumstances to others, and we should accept that gracefully. This is the meaning of being a devotee. So, when we become disturbed because of others' progress and others' advantages, then we are unhappy with the Lord. And this is not the right spirit for a devotee who wants to please the Lord by performing devotional service. Here, Ashwathama, because of his association with Duryodhana, he also became envious of the Pandavas. He could not tolerate the victory of the Pandavas. And Ashwathama very well knew that Krishna was supporting the Pandavas. That itself should have been an eye opener for Ashwathama. He was actually a Brahma Bandhu, he was a Brahmana, but he was only Brahmana for namesake. He did not have the qualities of a real Brahmana. And that is why he failed to recognize the greatness of the Pandavas, who were all pure devotees of the Lord. Ashwathama should have accepted the fact that by the arrangement of the Lord, the Pandavas have actually emerged victorious on the battlefield. Let me accept this. No, he did not accept this because of his polluted consciousness, because of his association with Duryodhana. He could not accept this. And that is why he attempted to kill the last descendant of the Pandavas. That is Maharaj Parikshit, who was within the womb of Uttara. And we all know, we read in yesterday's verse also, that Lord Krishna, he could understand the intention of Ashwathama at once. Therefore, he released his Sudarshana Chakra to protect Parikshit Maharaj and the Pandavas from the Brahmastra. So the Lord never tolerates any offense or any difficulty caused to a pure devotee of the Lord. He immediately comes to protect his pure devotees who know none other than the Lord. So this is the quality of the Lord as Bhakta Vatsala. The Lord is Bhakta Vatsala. We have discussed this yesterday. So here in this verse it is said, the 15th verse we read just now, Yadyapi astram brahma shiraha tu amogham cha pratikriyam cha apratikriyam. So it is said, Yadyapi, although Brahma shiraha astram, which is very powerful weapon, it is amogham. No one can counter that. It is amogham. And it is apratikriyam. It cannot be counteracted. It is very powerful without a check. Even then, Vaishnavam Teja Asadhya. Vaishnavam means the power of Lord Vishnu. Tejaha means the strength. The strength of Lord Vishnu is much more greater than any material weapon like Brahmastra. Therefore, Asadhya Samasha Asadhya Samashamyat. Samashamyat means it was neutralized. Lord Vishnu or Krishna's unlimited strength neutralized the Brahmastra weapon released by Ashwathama. And this is Bhrugu Udvaha. So, O glory of the family of Bhrugu. So, Shaunaka Rishi is from the family of Bhrugu, Bhrugu Rishi, Bhrugu Maharshi. Therefore, this statement is spoken by Suta Goswami, and he is addressing Shaunaka Rishi, and he is addressing him as the best of the descendants of Bhrugu. So, the lesson that we can learn from this shloka is that however powerful a material weapon might be, but in front of the Supreme Lord Krishna's power, all these weapons or all these material powers are insignificant. They are of no use. So, this is a very important learning we should have. So, the Pandavas were very confident because they had the support of Lord Krishna. Anybody who has taken shelter of Lord Krishna, he need not fear even amidst the greatest dangers. So, this is the point. If you take shelter of Lord Krishna, who is the supreme powerful personality, who is the master of all powers, you don't have to actually worry even amidst the greatest calamity, greatest problem in your life. So, today onwards, the auspicious Kartik month is starting. This Kartik month is very special because the Goswamis have described that Kartik month is actually a manifestation of Srimati Radharani's special mercy. This Kartik month is directly ruled by Srimati Radharani. And Srimati Radharani is very, very merciful. She is our divine mother. Therefore, any act of devotional service that is performed during this Kartik month, however insignificant it might be, however faulty it might be, Srimati Radharani recognizes such a act of bhakti and she recommends such a devotee who performs bhakti in Kartik month to Lord Krishna. And when Srimati Radharani recommends, Lord Krishna will never disapprove, he will always accept. Therefore, during this month of Kartika, we should try to perform more and more devotional service. This is the way to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. Just like the Pandavas had taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, and therefore they were always fearless. Even when Ashwathama released Brahmastra, they were actually not at all worried because they knew that Krishna will protect them, and Krishna actually protected them. So, how to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna? By performing bhakti, by performing devotional service. That pleases the Lord and that ensures that we get complete protection of the Lord. Another point that Srila Prabhupada mentions here in this purport is that Lord Krishna, the weapon called Brahmastra released by Ashwathama, was neutralized and foiled by Lord Sri Krishna by his own energy. That is to say, he did not wait for any other's help because he is absolute. This is a very important point. Lord Krishna is absolutely powerful. His power is not dependent on any other source. In fact, everybody's power is coming from Krishna. This Lord Krishna himself declares in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Balam Balavatam Asmi. I am the strength of the strong. So, whatever strength people in this world may possess, right from an insignificant person up to great devatas like Brahma and Shiva, all their powers are given to them by Lord Krishna. He is the ultimate source of everybody's power and strength. That is why he is called absolutely powerful. So, when Brahmastra was released, Lord Krishna did not take anybody's help. He did not call his energies, he did not call other devatas to help the Pandavas protect from Brahmastra. No, he himself, by his own energy, was able to protect the Pandavas and Parikshit Maharaj from the onslaught of Brahmastra. That means the Lord is self sufficient and he is capable of giving complete protection to to the surrendered souls. So that is the point that we must understand from this verse. Just a minute. Let us read the next verse, text 16. Mamam sthahyetadascharya sarvascharyamayechyute yaidam mayaya devya srujatyavati hantyajaha. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Suta Goswami continued, O Brahmanas, do not think this to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of Godhead. By his own transcendental energy, he maintains and annihilates all material things, although he himself is unborn. Purport. The activities of the Lord are always inconceivable to the tiny brain of the living entities. Nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord, but all his actions are wonderful for us, and thus he is always beyond the range of our conceivable limits. The Lord is the all powerful, all perfect personality of Godhead. The Lord is cent% perfect, whereas others, namely Narayana, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, and all other living beings, possess only different percentages of such perfection. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is unrivaled. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. So Suta Goswami is continuing his narration to Shaunakadi rishis of Naimisharanya. He is saying here, Ma mamsthahi etad ascharyam. Ascharyam means wonderful. Ma means do not. Mamsthaha means think. Don't think that all this is wonderful, right? Don't think that this is especially wonderful. He's saying whatever Lord Krishna did to protect Parikshit Maharaj when he was in the womb of his mother against Brahmastra. Don't think that this is all wonderful, because it is not at all wonderful, because the Lord is all powerful. Sarvascharya Achyute. Sarva means all of these things that Achyuta did, Krishna did. Ascharya in all the in the all mysterious, Achyute, the infallible. So, O Brahmanas, do not think this to be especially wonderful in the activities of the mysterious and infallible personality of Godhead. And then he's saying, Ya idam mayaya devya srijati avati hanti ajaha. Why we should not think that whatever Lord Krishna did in protecting Parikshit Maharaj is wonderful? We should not think that it is wonderful, because by his energy, Maya means the energy of the Lord. By his energy, what does he do? Devya means which is transcendental. The energy of the Lord is transcendental. He srijati, he creates. Avati, he maintains. And hanti, he annihilates all this material cosmos. Just by his energy, he is creating this entire material world with so many universes. And in each universe, there are so many planets. And on each planet, there are so many living entities. And the Lord is doing this simply by employing his transcendental energy. He is not only creating, he is also maintaining all of these, the entire cosmos. And he is also annihilating. Just by his wish, just by his will, he is able to do all of these things. And he is Ajaha, although he is unborn. He is able to do so much in this material world, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, just by employing his transcendental energy. So, therefore, there is nothing impossible for the Lord. So, therefore, the activities of the Lord are wonderful, are adbhuta for us, the common people of this material world. But actually, for the Lord, this is all like a child's play. It is a child's play. He can do it effortlessly. That is why Shaunaka Rishi is being told here. Shaunaka Rishi and all the other sages of Naimisharanya are being told here by Suta Goswami Do not wonder at the activities of the Lord. These are all very common. These are very, very simple for the Lord, effortless for the Lord to perform. There is one song composed by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Bengali language. Tumi Sarveshwareshware Vrajendra Nandana, Vrajendra Kumara. So he's saying, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying in this song, O Vrajendra Kumara, O son of Nanda Maharaj, Lord Krishna, you are Sarva Ishvara Ishvaraha. You are the controller of all the great controllers of this universe. According to your wish, Brahma creates. According to your wish, Lord Vishnu maintains. According to your wish, Shiva annihilates. According to your wish, Maya Devi puts all the living entities into illusion. All of this is done as per your wish. And all the living entities, including great devatas, are all like puppets in your hands. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur describes in that song. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Ekala Eshwara Krishna or Sabubhritya. Everybody is a Bhritya, servant, and the only controller, only Supreme Lord is Krishna. And everybody dances as per the orders, as per the desire of the Supreme Lord. Just like a puppeteer controls the movements of the hands and legs of a puppet through the pulling of strings, in that way, by the desire, by his mere desire, Krishna controls even the greatest controllers like Brahma, Shiva, and all other devatas. So this is the supreme position of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So we have to understand this from the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, nothing is impossible for Krishna. That is what is the point stressed here. Why? Because he is Achyuta. The word Achyuta is used here to refer to Krishna in the shloka. Achyuta means one who never undergoes Chuti. Chuti means to fall down. Achyuta means one who never falls down. So, Lord Krishna is called Achyuta because he never falls down from his original position. He is always situated in his transcendental position. He is always the Supreme Master. Even when he comes to this material world, apparently, like one of us in this material world, he also walks about, he also performs his activities. Still, he is not under the subjugation of Maya. He is always the controller of Maya, even when he comes to this world of Maya. This is the point that Suta Goswami is talking. So even when he comes to this material world, he is transcendental. His activities are all conducted by his transcendental energies. And just by his wish, the entire cosmic manifestation is created, it is maintained, and it is annihilated. And he is the original unborn supreme master. So, this we have to understand very carefully. So, many times people say, oh, in ISKCON, since it is a Krishna temple, so they will have to glorify about Krishna, obviously. So they will say Krishna is the supreme, Krishna is the master of all the devatas. So it is very natural for devotees of Krishna to feel like this. But we should understand that this is not a sentimental statement. Not because we are devotees of Krishna, therefore we are sentimentally talking about Krishna like this. Tumi Sarveshwareshware Vrajendra Kumara. You are the supreme controller. No, it is not a sentimental statement. It is based on proper scriptural evidences. This is the point. It is based on scriptural evidences. All the scriptures, including the Bhagavatam, which is the final work of Vyasadeva, which he compiled in his complete spiritual maturity, all the scriptures, including Bhagavatam especially, they point out to this important truth that it is Krishna who is the supreme personality of Godhead. In fact, Srila Prabhupada mentions one very interesting verse from Linga Purana, which says, Alodhya Sarva Shastrani Vicharyascha Punah Punaha Idamekam Sunishpannam Dhyeyo Narayana Sada. So it might appear that different scriptures are glorifying different devatas to be supreme. But in the Linga Purana, it is mentioned if you study all the scriptures scrutinizingly and then contemplate upon what you have studied in all the scriptures, you will promptly come to this conclusion that Narayana, Krishna, is the supreme object of meditation for everyone at all times. So, for this, one has to be unbiased. One should be unbiased. One should not have some, bias in his mind while studying the scriptures. Of course, the scriptures declare, the scriptures glorify different devatas at different places. But if you actually do a unbiased reading of the whole scriptures, you will come to this conclusion that it is Krishna, Narayana, who is the supreme personality of Godhead. And here it is mentioned, Prabhupada mentions here, the Lord is the all powerful, all perfect personality of Godhead. The Lord is cent percent perfect. This is very important. If you study the Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami, from various scriptural evidences, he has proved how Krishna is the all perfect, supreme, absolute truth. This Rupa Goswami has explained from various scriptural evidences. So Rupa Goswami gives a list of 64 transcendental qualities and he explains how it is only Krishna, not even Narayana, who predominates the Vaikuntha planets, who possesses all these 64 qualities in full. Therefore, Krishna is cent percent Bhagavan. That means all the 64 qualities are completely manifested in Krishna. They are exhibited by Krishna, not only in the spiritual world, even when he came to this material world 5,000 years ago, he was able to fully manifest all of these 64 qualities even in this material world. Therefore, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. This is the declaration of Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam. Whereas Lord Narayana, who is a expansion of Krishna, who is also Vishnu Tattva, who is also capable of granting liberation to the conditioned souls and lifting them up to these Vaikuntha planets, Lord Narayana displays only 60 out of 64 qualities. This is the analysis made by Rupa Goswami, and he is not making it based on his sentimental understanding, but he is making this based on proper scriptural backing. This is very, very important. So, out of the 64 transcendental qualities, only 60 are manifested in the personality of Narayana. So, therefore, here Prabhupada is writing, the Lord is cent percent perfect, whereas others, namely Narayana, Brahma, Shiva, the demigods, and all other living beings, possess only different percentages of that perfection. So, out of the 64, which is 100%, the living entities possess different degrees of that perfection, different percentages of that perfection. Lord Brahma, who is the topmost jiva within this material world, so he possesses certain percentage, about 74% of that perfection, 75%. So the maximum that a living entity can attain within this material world, or even after going to the spiritual world, the maximum perfection out of the 64 transcendental qualities, one can attain 74%. That is what Rupa Goswami explains. So, no one can become Krishna. Many times people ask, by meditation, can we become Krishna? In fact, there are so many pseudo spiritualists who promise their followers that you see, Krishna was meditating every day, and that is why he got all those mystic powers. If you do this meditation and do this yoga and pranayama, you will also become like Krishna. No, this is absolutely false. It is not possible to become Krishna. Krishna is Krishna. The living entities are living entities. Maximum, we can attain 74% of perfection. We cannot become Krishna. That is not our constitutional position. Actually, no one can become Krishna. It's not that somebody earlier was imperfect and then he became the perfect Supreme Lord Krishna. No, it is not like that. Krishna is always Krishna. He's always perfect. And we are called the separated expansions of Krishna, Vibhinnamshas. And the Varaha Purana, it is all explained. Prabhupada quotes in various purports. Krishna expands himself into two categories of living entities. The first category of living entities are called as Swamsha, right? Swamsha expansions of the Lord. And these Swamsha are called plenary expansions or personal expansions of the Lord. They all fall into the category of Vishnu Tattva. All the predominating personalities of Godhead in the Vaikuntha planets, they all fall into this category called Swamsha. Lord Narayana, Narasimha, Varaha, Vamana, Matsya, Kurma, all these are actually Swamsha. Means power wise, they are all in par with Krishna, right? They are all called Vishnu Tattva and they are all as good as Krishna in power, in other features, and they are not different from Krishna. So they are called Vishnu Tattva. They are all infallible, they are all Achyuta. They never come under the influence of Maya. Then there is another category of expansions, and that is called Vibhinna Amsha, or separated expansions. All of us, the jivas, the living entities, both the jivas who are present in the Vaikuntha planets in their liberated state, and the jivas who are present here in the material world in our conditioned state of existence, all of us are called Vibhinnamsha or separated expansions of the Lord. And we are all prone to fall down on account of us being very tiny and insignificant. So we can come under the influence of Maya. Therefore, we are called marginal energy of the Lord. Marginal means we have a choice. We can make a choice either to be under the influence of the spiritual energy of the Lord and stay in his devotional service in the liberated state, or we have a choice to think that I can enjoy independent of the Lord and come to the conditioned state of existence in this material world. So we have a choice. Since we have a choice and we can choose, and we are prone to uh, be under the influence of one of these two energies at any given point of time, we are called marginal energies of the Lord. So right now we have all misused our minute independence and we have rebelled against the Lord, and therefore we have come to this material world and we are thinking we are enjoying independently, we are enjoying very nicely, but in the process we are actually becoming more and more miserable. It is not our constitutional position to enjoy independent of the Lord. If we want to be happy, we have to be in the association of the Lord in the spiritual world. So these are the two kinds of expansions that are described in the scriptures. So we are Vibhinnamsha. So we can attain perfection when we engage perfectly in devotional service of the Lord. Of the Lord. So Prabhupada also writes, no one is equal to or greater than him. He is unrivaled. The Lord, it is described in the Vishnu Purana, Srila Prabhupada quotes, the Lord is called Asama Urdhva. Asama Urdhva. No one can be equal to him, no one can be greater than him. That is the position of the Lord. So therefore, he is unrivaled. Unrivaled means, generally when we have a position, big position, say position of president of a country or prime minister of a country, or even position of a mayor of a small city. There are many contenders to that position, to that post. So therefore, there are elections, there are campaigns, and then people cast their votes. And so there is rivalry among the contenders, and one of them gets the maximum number of votes, and he or she is chosen as the mayor of that city or prime minister or president, whatever. But as far as the Lord is concerned, it is not like that. It is not that there are so many people contending to become the Supreme Lord and somebody gets chosen like that. No, it is not like that. He is the unrivaled Supreme Lord in all circumstances. That is the position of the Lord. He is unrivaled. Very beautiful words, beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. So, it is not possible for the tiny brain of the living entities to conceive of the activities of the Lord. The Lord can do anything, nothing is impossible for him, and his activities are all beyond our conceivable limits. That is what Srila Prabhupada writes. So let us go to the next verse, last verse for today, text 17. ब्रह्मतेजो विनिर्मुक्तैरात्मजैः सह कृष्णया प्रयाणाभिमुखं कृष्णम् इदमाह पृथा सती. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation, Suta Goswami continued, thus saved from the radiation of the Brahmastra, Kunti, the chaste devotee of the Lord, and her 5 sons and Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as he started for home. Purport. Kunti is described herein as Sati or chaste due to her unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. Her mind will now be expressed in the following prayers for Lord Krishna. A chaste devotee of the Lord does not look to others, namely any other living being or demigod, even for deliverance from danger. That was all along the characteristic of the whole family of the Pandavas. They knew nothing except Krishna, and therefore the Lord was also always ready to help them in all respects and in all circumstances. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He reciprocates the dependence of the devotee. One should not, therefore, look for help from imperfect living beings or demigods, but one should look for all help from Lord Krishna, who is competent to save his devotees. Such a chaste devotee also never asks the Lord for help, but the Lord, out of his own accord, is always anxious to render it. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Brahma Tejo Vinirmuktaihi. So, in this way, Lord Krishna, by his personal energy, he protected the Pandavas and Parikshit Maharaj, who was within the womb of Uttara, from the deadly Brahmastra released by Ashwathama. So Parikshit Maharaj is saved, he is protected. After that, Kunti Maharani is coming, the grandmother of the child who was protected by the Lord, the mother of Pandavas. She is coming forward, and she, what is she doing? Brahma Tejaha, the radiation of Brahmastra, Vinirmuktaihi, being saved from Atmajaihi Saha Krishnaya. Atmajaihi, along with her sons, the Pandavas. Atmaja, here in this, we should understand the word Atma means different things in different contexts. Here, the word Atma actually means body. Jaihi means to take birth. One who takes birth from one's body, that refers to one's children. So, children are referred to as Atmaja. So, Kunti Maharani, along with her Atmajaihi, with her Pandavas, with her sons, Saha, along with Krishnaya. Krishnaya refers to Draupadi Maharani here. Krishnaya, Prayana Abhimukham Krishnam. Krishna was, after answering the prayers of Uttara, protecting her child, Krishna again got up on his chariot, and he was going towards Dwaraka. So he was Prayana Abhimukham. Prayana means outgoing, traveling. Abhimukham, towards his place. Krishnam, Lord Krishna. Idam aha prutha sati. In this way, Prutha is another name of Kunti. Actually, Kunti's real name is Prutha, That is her real name. But since Kunti was the adopted daughter of a king called Kunti Bhoja, she got the name of her father, and she was named after her father as Kunti. But her real name is Prutha. So here it is said, Prutha Sati Aha. Aha means she said. Sati. Sati means chaste, devoted to the Lord. This is a very beautiful expression Prabhupada explains and elaborates about this. So, Krishna, who was about to leave towards his place, Dwaraka, after protecting everyone from Brahmastra, Krishna was about to travel towards Dwaraka. At that time, Kunti Devi, accompanied by her sons and her daughter in law Draupadi, she came and she addressed Krishna. And here Kunti Devi is specifically uh, described as Sati. Now, generally, the word Sati is used for describing a woman who is very devoted to her husband. So, Sati means to be completely devoted to one's husband, chaste, being chaste. But here, the word Sati is used also in a different context, in a very special context. Kunti Devi is Sati not only because she was devoted towards her husband Pandu Maharaj, but Kunti Devi is also called Sati because she was absolutely devoted to Krishna. So she was a chaste devotee of the Lord. She was a Sati in that context. What is the meaning of a chaste devotee? Chaste devotee means to be completely dependent on the Lord and no one else. This is the point. Kunti Devi taught this by her personal behavior to her sons Pandavas. Therefore, the Pandavas also became chaste devotees of Lord Krishna. That means they were always dependent on the Lord in every circumstance. It's not that during Janmashtami we will pray to Krishna and during the other time of the year we will forget Krishna and we will approach some other devata. No, this is not called chaste devotee. This is not called unalloyed devotee. In all circumstances, at all times, the Pandavas were completely dependent on Krishna for their protection, for their livelihood, for their life. This is called being chaste. One of our acharyas in our parampara very strongly explains this point. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains. He uses this word chaste, sati, and he explains. A pure devotee of the Lord, he is fully devoted, he is fully committed to the Lord in all circumstances, to Krishna. He does not turn his attention towards any other personality, even great devatas. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this is exactly like the behavior of a chaste woman towards her husband. Krishna is our pati, he is our maintainer, he is our bharta, maintainer. So we should be absolutely committed and loyal to our maintainer, to our master, Krishna. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, those who turn their minds towards other devatas, they are like an unchaste lady who tries to go and associate with parapurushas, other men apart from her husband. So a very strong example, a very uh, strong way of conveying is done by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it is based on this statement, these kind of statements in the Bhagavatam. So Kunti Devi is chaste, and she taught this to her sons, the Pandavas. Prabhupada writes here, a chaste devotee of the Lord does not look to others, namely any other living being or demigod, even for deliverance from danger. Many times people ask, in our traditional Vedic understanding, in the Hindu functions, Hindu religious performances, first before starting any puja, Ganesha worship is done. Why Srila Prabhupada has not introduced Ganesha worship in the ISKCON world? Why does he not encourage devotees to first worship Ganesha and then worship Lord Krishna? Many people ask this question. So, of course, there is nothing wrong in worshipping Ganesha with the right understanding. Ganesha is not an independent Lord. He is deriving his powers and he has become Vigna Vinashaka. He is deriving his powers from the Supreme Lord Krishna, specifically in his form as Narasimha Deva. So Ganesha, he has become the remover of obstacles from the blessings of Lord Narasimha Deva. So, as a devotee of Lord Narasimha Deva, we can very well worship Ganesha. There is no problem at all. But then, Prabhupada was very careful. If Ganesha worship is introduced, then slowly everybody will start introducing their own different Devata worship. So, which sidelines the purpose of Bhagavatam. So, Prabhupada wanted to establish Bhagavatam in action. And that is how he conceived this name also, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. When Prabhupada was incorporating this name, when he started his organization in New York City, somebody suggested, why don't you make it International Society for God Consciousness? God is a more neutral term, and more people will get attracted, more people will come. So Prabhupada said, no, I want to specifically through my organization, I want to teach the principles of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which propound that Krishna is the supreme absolute personality of Godhead. And I don't want people to bring their own conceptions of God and dilute the whole philosophy. So he was very clear from day one. And that is why Srila Prabhupada did not introduce any demigod worship, including Ganesha worship. It's not that ISKCON devotees or Vaishnavas hate the demigods. No. The demigods are all, the Devatas are all great devotees of the Supreme Lord. We have high regards for them as devotees of the Lord. They are all Vaishnavas. Vishnu Bhakta Smrite Daivaha. The Padma Purana says, all the Daiva, all the Devatas are all Vishnu Bhaktas. They're all exalted devotees of the Lord. So we should actually adore them as devotees of the Lord. But Srila Prabhupada did not introduce Ganesha worship or any worship of any Devata because he did not want to dilute the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. Because slowly people will dilute it and say, okay, you introduce Ganesha, now I will bring another Devata. Then somebody will say, I'll bring another Devata. All Devatas we will worship. Then again it will become a typical Hindu, diluted Mayavada understanding. So Prabhupada was very careful. And that is why he did not introduce Ganesha worship or any other. So the point here is being chaste devotees of the Lord. The Pandavas were chaste devotees of the Lord. So in any particular situation, even in their dangerous situation, even when they were going through some danger, they did not turn to any other devata for their help, or deliverance. They were absolutely devoted to Krishna only. So this is called absolute surrender. This is what the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam are teaching us. And this is what Srila Prabhupada wanted to establish firmly. So Prabhupada writes here, that was all along the characteristic of the whole family of the Pandavas. They knew nothing except Krishna, and therefore the Lord was also always ready to help them in all respects, in all circumstances. That is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He reciprocates the dependence of the devotee. One should not, therefore, look for help from imperfect living beings or demigods, but one should look for all help from Lord Krishna, who is competent to save his devotees. Such a chaste devotee also never asks the Lord for help, but the Lord, out of his own accord, is always anxious to render it. So this is the reciprocal relationship between the Lord and his chaste devotees. The chaste devotees know no one other than Krishna. Therefore, they always approach Krishna even for their deliverance from any kind of danger. And in fact, the pure devotees do not ask the Lord for any specific prayer or specific wish. They do not ask the Lord for any help, but the Lord is very eager to provide all help. He is more anxious to provide all help to his chaste devotees. This is a special characteristic of the Lord. So, the Pandavas give us this vivid example of how to be absolutely dedicated to the Lord, and we should follow in the footsteps of the Pandavas. Right? So the Lord is competent to provide all help or to save his devotees. We should not think that, oh, in some aspects I should for some aspects I should go to some other devata. There are in the Vedic scriptures it is recommended if somebody wants to become advanced in learning, he must worship goddess Saraswati. If somebody wants a chaste husband or a wife, he or she must worship Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. If somebody wants to have greater strength in sense gratification, he or she should worship King Indra. If somebody wants a lot of wealth, he should worship Kubera. Like this, there is a lot of recommendation in the Karma Kanda section of the Vedic scriptures. But this is actually meant for those who cannot fix their mind on Krishna, who have not understood the purpose of the Vedas, who are simply attracted to the material aspect of life. For them, these kind of allurements are recommended in the scriptures so that they do not become atheists. At least they come to accept some devata. That is the idea. And so that gradually they can come to the point of surrendering to Krishna. But for us, devotees who are trying to become Krishna conscious, absolutely it is not recommended, it is not needed for us to worship any devata for any material purpose. Even if you have some material purpose to achieve, better you should worship Krishna only. This is the recommendation of the Bhagavatam. Through Govardhan Leela, Krishna has shown that it is not required for his devotees to take shelter or to worship any devata as powerful as Indra. Right? Somebody may ask, then the gopis of Vrindavan, they were worshipping Surya Deva. Radharani was worshipping Surya Deva. Today, when we go to Vrindavan, we find a place called Surya Kunda near Barsana, where she was worshipping Surya Deva every day. And the gopis used to also worship Katyayani Devi. Then should we not worship? They were all worshipping. No, actually the gopis were worshipping Surya Deva or Katyayani Devi or any other devata, but their goal was to achieve the favor of Krishna, not for material pursuits. They were not worshipping the devatas for some material pursuits. Now, as far as we are concerned, we need not imitate the gopis. The gopis are all exalted, pure devotees of the Lord. We need not imitate the gopis by worshipping Surya Deva or any other devatas. We can directly take shelter of Krishna. This is what Krishna has shown through Govardhan Leela. Therefore, we should take the recommendation of the Bhagavatam, which says, Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udaradhihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusha param. The Bhagavatam says whether one is akama without any material desires, or whether one is moksha kama, he has the desire for attaining liberation, or whether one is sarvakama, he has all kinds of material desires. Such a person is recommended to perform tivrena bhakti yogena, intense devotional service unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Because when we go to the Lord, the Supreme Lord Krishna, even with a contaminated, fruitive mentality, by accepting the instructions of a pure devotee spiritual master, and by executing the process of bhakti, beginning with hearing and chanting about the Lord, slowly our fruitive mentality will be cleansed and we will come to the point of rendering pure devotional service. So, this Damodara month, we are singing the Damodara Ashtaka. And in the Damodara Ashtaka also, this is the prayer. Varam Deva Moksham na Moksham Vadhim Va Nachanyam Vraneham Paresha Dapiha. Satyavrata Muni is praying in this Damodara Ashtaka. Oh Lord, I don't ask for any material benediction, nor do I ask the benediction of getting liberation and attaining Vaikuntha. I don't want that also. Then what do I want? Idam te vapurnatha gopala balam sadame manasya virastham kimanyai. I don't want any other desire. I simply want to always meditate upon the Gopala Bala, the boy form of Lord Krishna, the child form of Lord Krishna, which he manifested in front of Mother Yashoda. And this form I want to always meditate within my heart. Please give me the intelligence, O Krishna, that I never forget you. Please always help me to meditate upon you, to remember you. This is much, much greater than attaining liberation. So, during this Kartika month, it's an opportunity for us to perform Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, intensify our devotional service every day by offering a ghee lamp to the Lord, by chanting more and more the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and by hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam, and also reading Krishna book, the beautiful pastimes of Krishna. In this way, we should absorb our mind, our consciousness in Krishna, and we should, in this way, we can actually attain great amount of advancement in Krishna consciousness. So, starting today, let us all take up this Kartika Damodara Vrata of chanting the Damodara Ashtaka song, singing the song, and offering a ghee lamp to the Lord. Every day, 9:15 to 9:45, every day we are going to have half an hour session on Damodara meditations. So, every day, please do join 9:15 to 9:45 and let us meditate on Lord Damodara during this auspicious Kartik month. We will continue. The next verse onwards, Kunti Devi starts offering prayers. We will see that from tomorrow. Thank you very much for your valuable time. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Kartika Deepotsav Mahamahotsav ki jai. Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.